Hi, I'm Paul from Marathon Handbook, the running shoe guru, and this is the new Nike Vaporfly 3. The Vaporfly 3 is the one we've all been waiting for. And if you watch my last video on the top 6 racing shoes for 2023, I do reference the Vaporfly 3. You have to watch that video, we'll put a link up there. But the Vaporfly 2 I named as my favourite, the best racing shoe of 2023. At the point of recording the last video, I didn't yet have the Vaporfly 3, but as the Vaporfly 2 is widely available at discounted prices, that made my my selection of the top 6 shoes. So forget that, let's focus on the Vaporfly 3 and what's new for this year. Well, the price in the UK, it's gone up a little bit, £235. In the US, $250. Weight is very similar, comes in around about 210 grams, 7.3, 7.4 ounces. Stack height, although Nike don't officially say, it's 40 millimeters in the heel, 8 mil drop. Feels very similar to the previous version. So what's changed really? Well, although it is a fraction lighter, we do have a little bit more cushioning. That cushioning doesn't affect the stack height. The overall stack remains the same. What's gone on is that the outsole rubber is now very, very thin, perhaps only 1 millimeter thick. So we've gained a couple of mil on the depth of the ZoomX foam, that wondrously soft, springy foam that we've all come to know and love over recent years. And we've got a very thin outsole. As you can see, it's yeah, it is only super thin, 1 mil, keeps the weight down, but also may increase our durability concerns in the long run. But that said, remember kids, this isn't an everyday trainer, it is a racing shoe. So please just use it for the occasional speed sessions and racing, and I think that's where you'll get the most out of the shoe. Upper wise, we've still got that very slim, kind of very shapely upper. It hugs the foot. I notice a little bit more support through the arch in the version 3. And the mesh upper is super breathable. This has got to be the most breathable upper in any racing shoe at the moment. Super lightweight, very breathable, lots of holes throughout it, very open knit design in the forefoot and all the way through. You can see my hand inside the shoe there. So very breathable, lets a lot of air in, so no dangers of overheating in this shoe. Laces are offset on the instep here. I did find a little bit of kind of bulging here, but you know, it's not a deal breaker. I think the thing to do is not over tighten the shoe. Some people really pull the laces in tight, but just make it snug, and you don't get the creasing. One slight issue, the tongue has got this cutaway to let the ankle flex here. When I first put the shoes on, I did have to kind of twist and turn this to get it to sit just right. But I must admit, when racing, not an issue. And when it comes to racing, I did have the shoes, but didn't train in them, didn't run in them at all prior to a half marathon I did last week, the Manchester Half Marathon, part of the Great Run event in Manchester. So I parked the car up, put the shoes on, and ran maybe half 1 mile warm up to the start, and then we were away. The gong went, and that was really the first time I'd worn the shoe in anger. And I wanted to keep them fresh. I was really excited, as you can tell, about the shoe. I'd ran Berlin Marathon last year in the Vaporfly 2. Really liked that shoe, ran all my best races in the last year in that shoe. And wanted to try the Vaporfly, getting tongue-tied, Vaporfly 3 straight out of the box for the half marathon. And what can I say? No issues at all, really. That tongue, once I'd adjusted the laces, I got that to sit just right, but the shoe felt super soft, super springy, everything super. It just felt great. It's light. I kind of almost disappeared and forgotten that I'd got a new shoe on my feet, really. It did feel very similar to the two. It is a similar ride, fraction lighter, fraction softer. You can see how this midsole does compress very easily. That said, it's very resilient. It retains its shape and it springs back to shape well. And you can see that, yes, there's a little bit of signs of compression, but you always get that on the super shoes. Perhaps a little bit more on mine on the medial side than the lateral side. Not much creasing there, but I do plan just to wear them for race day. I do want to extend the life of them and make the most of the shoe. No doubt I'll probably have to buy another pair if I'm going to do a marathon later in the year. But what can I say? Just a great shoe, great experience. It was agile, it was flexible, it was springy. You do notice the springy feel and responsive toe off in this. The carbon plate's in there, of course. It is exposed through the lateral side here, that foam cutaway, so that you can see it. You can see it in there as well, that the fly plate, as it's been referred to as by Nike. The midsole scoops up a little bit around the heel, so around the side of the foot as well. So that creates a little bit of stability, but stability and carbon plated racing shoes really aren't terms that are good bedfellows. They're not designed for stability, they're not designed for overpronators, they are built for speed, and that's the #1 focus. Otherwise, we've got the same kind of features around the heel. We've got that padding in the heel there that just lines the foot, sits around the heel bone and holds it securely in place. The seams offset, doesn't really matter. It's one piece lining inside and you don't feel it anyway. And with that padding, it kind of sits away from the foot. So that doesn't matter. It just makes it look a bit unusual from the back, as does that the super sharp cutaway is gone. And we've kind of got an angled, scooped off section there. Just design really, allows us to put a little swoosh on there as well. So the Vaporfly 3, probably the best new super shoe in my opinion of 23. Price, it's competitive, it's the same as everybody else's shoes, but the Vaporfly 2 is available at great reductions. So if you can afford it, yeah, go for Vaporfly 3. If you want to save money, you can find Vaporfly 2 at your size for around about £150, $150, absolutely go for it. It's a shoe that was most popular in the UK at the Manchester Marathon. I did a shoe count in a video that you can find on the channel as well. People were, it's winning a lot of races. Perhaps other brands for podium places are catching up a little bit now, but I'm sure that for 2023 we will see a lot of the world's fastest athletes wearing the Vaporfly 3. So here it is. Have you got them yet? Do you plan to get a pair? Which is your favourite super shoe? Do let us know. And as always, thanks for watching. Nike Vaporfly 3.